So, welcome to Cloud Cafe new tech video. Uh, I think previous video I showed you how to set up OpenShift ACM cluster using policy. So entirely in the hub cluster we have configured with ACM policy. So my cluster is fully ready. In this session, we are going to talk about basically the ZTP. ZTP is one of the not new but quite new. ZTP full form is zero touch provisioning. So you can completely install any cluster from anywhere from ACM. And if it is a remote site also or anywhere. So if it is a cloud or on-prem. So this is how we are going to do. For ZTP process, so there is info. Host inventory is important where you can see all that is about to create the infrastructure. We have completed the governance and ZTP also process will through Argo CD. Before I explain to the new things, let me introduce my overall architecture. So I have a home network which is in the Airtel and it is pointing to 192.168.1.0/24 and from there and all my home network like a TV and mobile laptops apart from this laptop all is connected this device and then from there I have extended to separate the network with zeros.0. From there we have complete our local lab. So I'm managing this lab from this laptop. So this is my teeny home lab, and I have a three box. You can see three box. One box is i5 6 Gen 24 GB memory and near about 256 GB hard disk is a NVMe. And here I have a domain called, it's a completely local setup. There is few connectivity is internet. If you saw www, then that is connected to internet, and if it is saw the blank on something like that, this one, so it will be something there, no internet or intranet, something like that. And in this host, I have deployed couple of services like a DNS, and then small web server, also HTTP server, one load balancer, HTTP proxy, and one NFS server also. So these are the tool, and one more local GitHub, something like that. Not a GitHub, it's a Gitia. A small tool is I have installed, and this is deployed here, and it is pointing to 159. You can see this IP. It is pointing to here in port number 3000, and in this setup I have running one mirror registry. I'll show you, and one ZTP cluster I'm going to install, um, not here, maybe the another session, that is called ZTP2. And this is the main hub cluster we have installed in this cluster basically, in this host, and this host is only ACM. This is also i5 8 Gen 32 GB. It looks heavy, so I have only one setup. So, and all the blue boxes you can see it's running on the KVM. Even in the cluster also we are going to run under KVM, but underlying you can think this is like iDRAC or something like that. So I'll explain that how ZTP process workflow. And one more tool also here, you can see there is a virtual Redfish BMC also there, which is port number 8000 is running SUSI tool using SUSI tool. But we are going to provision this box, not this box, this STP and SNO ZTP cluster. And here also we have another mirror registry, so it is completely isolated. And this SNO cluster is completely from intranet, so they don't have any internet connectivity. So explicitly I configured wrongly the gateway. That's why you don't have any internet connectivity. So this is also i5 8 Gen 32 GB RAM and 512 GB 512 GB storage, something like that. So you can see this is my GitHub location. This is ACM. ACM it is pointing to this one, the ZTP pointing. It will come in the mirror registry. I show you. I'll click on that, and then the mirror registry will come. Sorry. Now I'm going to explain how ZTP works. So before I proceed on that, so ZTP is something like that. You you have a hub cluster where assist installer create the ISO image, then BMO creates the uh, BMC and it discover that agent. Then it will start the installation, and when you start the installation, when it's completed, basically the Hive reports to OCM, then it is import the cluster. So this is the high level workflow, and I explain that maybe later on little deeply. So after that it will sync. So let's start the process. Before I just show you in the this cluster, we have ZTP. You can see that VM is only provision. VM is provision, and VM as you can treat as this is a iDRAC server or iDRAC something like this provision. So what it will do, it will start that through ZTP process. It will start that this VM and start the installation. So let me put it watch mode so it will be easier to understand. I'll keep it inside site. Mm, Now I'm going to host inventory also. I'll explain everything in one by one. Then going back to OCP, ZTP. So I have that ZTP apps. Just installing that. It is pointing to SNO ZTP. Just copying this application, the Argo application, create a new, and then it will create. Once oh, I have saved it, then create. So you can see the SNO ZTP is started. There are so many things is there. Mirror registry config, SNO ZTP, BMC secret, pool secret, SNO ZTP, SNO, and the cluster instance. Okay, these all are deployed in a short, and, and you can see this infrastructure also created, and it will start. It will registering. Parallelly, I'll open that in a sort. So it will take time. Yeah, near about in between, I'll try to help you. Uh, what are the component normally? Uh, Cluster in the the command is what are the component normally installed? I'll explain that. You can see this is the cluster instance already started, and it will start once ISO is created. This is right now ISO not yet created. Basically, and then agent installed, then infra in the bare metal host and the secret, all other components is there. Once the ISO is created, it will start the real deployment. Let's see whether it will start it or not. Right now, I'm just going to monitor only the infra ENV. And when I started, it was 10 o'clock PM, basically in India time. It's not started. Still setting shutdown state. Basically, yeah, ISO is, you can see the ISO is created. ISO is created. It will take time. So right now 3 minutes over. So it took near about 3 minutes. So we'll wait for that. Meanwhile, once it will start, uh, I'll explain that part of that ZTP process in a very, yeah, it's running. Good. Now we can see what is happening inside that. I'm just opening it, real VNC, and just opening the SNO ZTP, and it started. It's booted, basically, it's booted. Now you can see the live things here. Basically, it's first is booting from that minimum ISO image, and then it will locally. I have created some root EFS image, which is near about 1 GB, and it will pull those images and it will start the installation. And it will pull that image near about 2 minutes, close to 1.45 seconds, what I saw that earlier before. So we need to wait for that, and then I'll explain that part also. Still it is inspecting, and both are running, but this is the good things we should stick into this here. Once it will pull those images, it will start the basic installation. Because once we network configure, I will go to inside that host and I will explain that part, what is happening. So you can easily understand step by step what is happening. And that I showed you in that small GIF in the workflow. I'll explain that part in a little broadly. Uh, Yeah, is pull those images and it will start again that setting that network and other also. And we can see it is booted 110 the 10 110 the IP, and that I have configured here basically in the ZTP GitOps cluster. Here is the all the this is the cluster instance, and everything is set up. So here you can see this is okay. Now what is happening? It is inspecting. Meanwhile, I'll just go to I'll go to SSH minus I. So, 4@192.168.0.110. Let me reduce that so you can easily visualize those things, what is happening. So yes, I'm just going back to Spring. Parallelly, I can show you what is happening here. Sudo su. It will first pull those images. Okay, let's see podman man ps minus a. Yeah, it's already just 1 minute before it pull that images, and 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 it started. Okay, now I'm going to use the journal. So it will show you minus b minus x minus f. Yeah, you can see it is already discovered and it started the installation. The default insufficient normally comes by default because the NTP is not set up, something like that. So just wait for few minutes, though it will take time. So I have configured 12 CPU, 16 GB one SNO, very poor server, that's why, and 110 GB storage. I don't know where is get from the GPU, honestly. Uh, this interesting for me, but I don't know where is got the GPU because I don't have any GPU in host is there because it's a very teeny box. Now it's ready. Ready means it will start already, is ready for installation. So it's prepare for installation. I started preparing for installation. This I can show you how it is. Note this is let me show you how it is really pulling from whether it has internet connectivity also. So ping there is no response from the ping because you can see it's not reachable because it don't have internet connection. Uh, Resolve.con is pointing to DNS server, and one is the hubs clusters and the own also. So how I configure that? So another is, let's see whether it is taking really the mirror registry or not. Container. Yeah, you can see this is taking from the mirror registry. Preparing step successful. Actually, in between, it will pull so many images. PS pod man PS minus A. Right now, you can see earlier before it took one first image, then it started the pulling from that multi-cluster assistant install. Let's will get those in details from that hub. What are the images it pulled for and images? You can see near about 4 to 5 images already it pulled. 4.13. Okay. So still waiting to assisted installer agent to finish. This server is not a real physical server. It's running as a VM. We just demonstrating that part. So the configuration wise, a little it's 5 minutes is over. 3 minutes took to create basically the images. Sometime my this server goes down. That's why I always try to think that it is responding or not. Now it's responding. Mostly the overall setup it took 30 minutes to install, and 45 to 50 minutes is complete installer. And you can see starting installation. Meanwhile, if I go back to here, you can see the things also how it's working. I just open it, all the things, starting installation. Just open completely the three setup. Yeah, installing 2 by 7. So waiting for the boot queue. Start it. So from here it will take time. So I'll pause after that once I explain that ZTP process. So just then we can create, there is a create for the governance for the ZTP also. Similar, we can install post installation of the cluster, the tools and others also. So it will be ready for that, the banner and all the stuff, it will be ready. So let me explain that part. So the ZTP. I'll try to explain the ZTP. I hope I explained that part before, so I'm not going to touch much more on that. So you can see SUSE virtual rate fish, which is helps to boot that treat as a this VM. Uh, this this KVM VM to start as a what do you call iDRAC or ILO, something like that, and start booting. And you can see this is, I already showed you, does not have any internet on that. And basically uh, the next step, yeah, to give you the most one. So here we are going to deploy the Red Hat ACM, and from there we are going to install that ZTP SNO ZTP cluster 110 using SUSE tool to boot up. And it takes the mirror registry from here. Basically it takes the mirror registry from here, 150. I showed you the NS doing the NS lookup. Okay. Need ZTP process. So what is ZTP process? Basically the workflow. We have a hub cluster, and here is the bare metal cluster, bare metal server where the BMC is there, which is we have deployed through. We are connecting through RatePiece API, SUSE tool, underlying as a VM. So OCM basically the open cluster management. Red Hat doing on top of that some advanced cluster management. The core component is OCM. Then we have a as is assisted installer, which is going to install that, help to install generating ISO. And we have a Hive, and there is another operator called bare metal operator, which is basically doing that to boot up and something like that. So the first step is basically it creates the discovery ISO. It creates the discovery ISO. Once it will create the discovery ISO, then bare metal operator, uh, the bare metal operator boots the BMC using those ISO. Boot the BMC, bare metal via BMC. So next, basically, if I told you the earlier before in the it will download as ISO minimum ISO from that ACM. Then we have connected that root FS images from that HTTP server. If it is a directly internet, then it will pull from there also, and then it will discover the agent. Then it will start the discovery agent uh, starting, and that we saw that, right? And then discovery agent started. Once the discovery agent started, it will collect the hardware and network info from that assistant installer. And then assistant installer discovery agent reports that okay, we got the details, now we can start the installation process. So it will start the installation SNO, and once it will install, the SNO cluster is installed, and then basically Hive going to tell that OCM that OCP is already installed, now you can take care. So after that OCM, OCM will take care to cluster set, using cluster set, and import that cluster let, sorry. So import that cluster and deploy that policy on that. Apply that policy, add-ons policy if you want to add something like that. Then OCM cluster is ready. Then it will, you can keep on sync with that hub and spoke cluster with the SNO. So this is the overall workflow. So that's it so far. So it will take time. I will pause that video for now. Let's see where it is. Oh, let's move on the fourth step. Actually, disk writing is completed. Good. After that, it will start the, even it's quite moving fast. It will reboot. Once it will reboot, basically it will start pulling images and do the things. So from here, it will little take time. If I go to the cluster, you can see this is created. And if I go to the cluster set, hub config is mapped. Once it will be ready, then new, I will deploy the new policy for SNO, ZTP SNO. Yes, we can download kubeconfig also. I'll explain that, and there is a process also. You can, from there is I have developed some script which is pull kube admin and kubeconfig from the from ACM. I think it started rebooting or not. Yeah, I think it's rebooted. It's rebooted. That thing is gone. Rebooted somehow. This is the some problem from the real VNC. Yeah. Yes. It's rebooted and it's starting again. Actually, automatically when it's rebooted, it will, the VNC is disconnected. So let's start it. It is keep on running, keep on running. So it won't impact the. Sometimes it is down. We need to up, make it up. Up means in the start the VM. Basically, from here it will take time. I'll pause that. Finally, finally, you can see that installation is completed, and you can there is a web console URL also there with user ID and password also there, and you can download qconfig also. Right, install completed, and if I go to host inventory, click on that host. So it's close to 1 hour it took. We started 10:08, now 11:05. Okay. So far, all are there. Let's log in the cluster. I don't know. It will take time. Actually, it's saying in the field. What is that? Don't know. Sometimes mine. Let me refresh. Sometimes my teeny box not supported properly. Sometimes reboot. So very minimum configuration. I'm just doing that. So okay, let me. I hope it's not responding. Thing. No, it's not responding. 60. Somehow host itself is rebooted. So yeah, it is true. Actually, host somehow is rebooted. Just bring up that host. I'll come back again. Till that, I'm just pausing this video. Let's see after bring back that host what is happening. So you can see that the console is ready. Now I'm just opening that console. Okay. Okay, good. So we can log in from kubectl file, kubectl the kubeadmin with user ID and password. Yeah. So you can see this setup is completely ready with some banner. and operator hub also you can see only 6 is there because it's taking from that so now and the installed operator also only one. And so far this is one more thing I need to see. The clock is not synced some because it's not connecting that NTP because internet is not connected. That's why it's getting problem. But whether time zone is set up or not, that we need to go to see. So let's see, it is connected with the IST setup. So by default, normally OpenShift it uses I think UTC, yeah, UTC setup. What else? So we have completely installed that entire SNO cluster through ZTP, and that's it. I hope so. It is ready now. Somehow it's got started due to that core host setup. It is went down entirely. I just physically bring back the physical host. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for watching this video. Next step, we are going to set up this governance. Rest of the part will complete that. So you can see only operator so far installed 2, 1. Now we are going to install the next couple of things.